Tomorrow is the 22nd of March 2026. You are standing at the absolute precipice of a monumental, terrifyingly beautiful, and undeniably profound energetic collision. You must understand right now, with every single fiber of your being, that this is not a gentle Sunday designed for passive rest, lazy contemplation, or sinking back into the comfortable, numb routines of your past. This specific 24-hour window is a fierce, unavoidable cosmic mandate. The architectural framework of your reality is being rewritten at lightning speed, and you are required to be entirely awake, completely conscious, and fiercely present to claim your position in this new paradigm. Tomorrow, the celestial bodies are arranging themselves in a geometry of such intense, blinding power that it will permanently incinerate the lingering doubts, the heavy stagnation, and the psychological debris that have been holding you hostage. On this exact day, the blazing, initiating fire of the Aries sun forms an exact, perfect conjunction with the boundless, mystical, and infinitely visionary planet of Neptune. In ancient astrological tradition, when a planet sits at this precise 0-degree distance from the sun, it is entirely swallowed by the sun's blinding light. This phenomenon is called a Cazimi. To be Cazimi is to be placed directly, unequivocally, inside the beating heart of the sun itself. Neptune is the planet that governs your highest spiritual capabilities, your unexplainable psychic intuitions, your deepest subconscious dreams, and the invisible threads that connect you to the absolute divine. Normally, Neptune operates in the shadows, in the fog, in the elusive realms of sleep and meditation. But tomorrow, Neptune is not hiding. It is being violently illuminated, aggressively magnified, and completely energized by the raw, pioneering, and unapologetic fire of Aries. At the exact same moment, in a breathtaking display of cosmic synchronicity, the planet Mercury, the ruler of your conscious mind, your communication, your daily logic, and your earthly perception, is forming a perfectly fated, undeniable conjunction with the North Node of Destiny in the boundless, highly sensitive water sign of Pisces. Do not underestimate the sheer, uncompromising gravity of this day. The thick, suffocating veil that separates your current, limited physical reality from your ultimate, limitless spiritual potential is being completely and violently torn down. The immense, aggressive, forward-moving force of Aries is physically merging with the infinite, limitless dreaming capacity of Neptune. Simultaneously, your cognitive mind is being directly, flawlessly plugged into the exact coordinates of your ultimate destiny by the North Node. This is a day of shattering awakenings. It is a day of sudden, blinding clairvoyance. It is a day of absolute, non-negotiable, energetic sovereignty. You are being aggressively called out of the shadows of your self-imposed limitations and thrust into a blinding light of absolute clarity. To successfully magnetize and physically anchor this pure, unadulterated energy tomorrow, you must become a flawless, frictionless conduit. The heavy, stagnant energy of your past weeks, the lingering, looping anxieties, and the profound psychological exhaustion that you have been carrying like a lead weight must be entirely, permanently flushed from your nervous system. When you open your eyes on the morning of March 22, your physical body is going to intimately feel this immense cosmic voltage. You are not going to wake up feeling ordinary. You might experience a strange, electric buzzing sensation running down your spine. You might feel a sudden, unexplainable rush of adrenaline forcing your eyes wide open. You might feel a deep physical pulling sensation in the absolute center of your chest. Do not suppress this feeling. Do not try to numb it. Do not reach for your phone to distract yourself with the artificial, chaotic noise of the internet. You must actively, deliberately ground this massive energy to successfully harness it. Before you speak a single word to anyone else, before you look at a single digital screen, before you allow the demands of the external world to infiltrate your mind, you must physically anchor yourself to the earth. You must stand completely barefoot on the physical ground if you possibly can, or you must stand impossibly tall in the center of your room, roll your shoulders back, expand your chest, and breathe with intense, rhythmic, and aggressive purpose. You are pulling the infinite, visionary, ethereal power of Neptune down from the cosmos, passing it through the burning, initiating fire of Aries and anchoring it directly, heavily into your physical vessel. You must declare out loud, using your physical voice in the empty room, that you are an open, willing, and utterly fearless vessel for the highest possible frequency of reality. Do not whisper this declaration. Speak it with the undeniable resonance of absolute authority. By initiating this physical and vocal action, you instantly and permanently shift your energetic signature from a state of passive, fearful waiting to a state of magnetic, undeniable command. You will literally transform yourself into a walking, breathing beacon, actively drawing high vibrational people, sudden, impossible synchronicities, and massive, life-altering coincidences directly into your immediate orbit. When it comes to calling in profound wealth, claiming your massive financial abundance, and magnetizing literal money on the 22nd of March 2026, you must completely, ruthlessly abandon the old, tired, and deeply broken paradigms of hard labor, silent suffering, and scarcity. You must fundamentally dismantle the poverty consciousness that has been slowly programmed into your cellular structure by a society that wants to keep you small. Neptune rules the intangible, the energetic, the limitless, and the profoundly unseen. Aries rules fast, decisive, aggressive, and entirely unapologetic physical action. Therefore, tomorrow, wealth is not generated by sitting quietly in a cubicle and hoping to be noticed. Wealth tomorrow is generated through the inspired, lightning-fast execution of your absolute deepest intuitions. Money tomorrow is not logical. It does not care about your past failures, and it does not care about your current bank balance. Money tomorrow is entirely, purely, frequency-based. Because the planet Mercury is physically touching the North Node in the psychic realm of Pisces, your conscious mind is going to be flooded with flashes of absolute, undeniable brilliance regarding your career, your financial investments, or your overarching business empire. You are going to receive a specific idea that seems almost too grand, too wildly visionary, or entirely too impossible for your current, limited circumstances. Listen to this mandate very carefully. That specific, terrifying idea is the exact, literal blueprint for your next massive level of wealth. Do not analyze it into the ground. Do not put it on a spreadsheet. Do not dare ask for the opinions of people who constantly operate on a lower frequency of fear and limitation. The Cazimi energy of the Sun and Neptune aggressively demands that you trust your internal vision with the absolute, uncompromising ferocity of a seasoned warrior. To physically attract massive sums of money tomorrow, you must take one immediate, physical, and highly terrifying step toward that grand vision. If your sudden intuition tells you to contact a high-level executive you have previously been too terrified to speak to, you must draft the message and hit send immediately without a single second of hesitation. If your intuition tells you to completely pivot your entire business model, you must pull out a blank piece of paper and map out the new structure tomorrow morning. You must begin to act, walk, and speak exactly as if the immense wealth you desire is already sitting permanently, securely in your bank account. You must carry your physical body, dictate your terms, and negotiate your worth with the quiet, terrifying, and unshakable confidence of someone who fundamentally knows that the entire universe is actively, continuously conspiring to make them obscenely rich. Poverty is a learned mindset of heavy restriction, but the Sun-Neptune Cazimi in the sign of Aries is the ultimate, undeniable destroyer of all restriction. You must aggressively expand your financial container tomorrow. You must look the universe directly in the eye and demand more. Demand more from your career trajectory, demand more from your client base, and absolutely, unequivocally, demand more from yourself. Your physical health, your biological resilience, and your mental vitality are the absolute, critical foundations required to hold this massive, unprecedented influx of power. You cannot pour blazing cosmic fire into a fragile, broken, and exhausted vessel. Because the planet Neptune directly rules the lymphatic system, the glandular functions, and the body's natural purifying fluids, and because the sign of Aries directly rules the physical head, the brain, the eyes, and the rushing blood. Your biological machinery requires immense, deliberate, and highly conscious care on March 22. To magnetize supreme, impenetrable health tomorrow, you must focus entirely on aggressive biological purification. Your physical body needs to become as brilliantly clear and pristine as your newly awakened mind. You must consume massive, continuous quantities of pure, clean water throughout the entirety of the day to physically, literally flush the heavy, toxic stagnation and the deep cellular memory of stress from your physical system. You must move your body. You do not necessarily need to engage in exhausting, punishing, or deeply depleting workouts, but you must engage in intentional, flowing, and deeply connected physical movement that actively releases the invisible, heavy armor of trauma you have been carrying in your tightly coiled muscles, your locked jaw, and your raised shoulders. Your mental health requires ruthless, almost violent boundary setting tomorrow, because your natural empathy and your psychic absorption are going to be operating at an absolute, dangerous maximum due to the heavy Pisces and Neptune influence. You cannot afford to be around people who constantly complain, who violently drain your joy, or who constantly project their own deep-seated limitations onto your pristine vision. You must protect your mental space and your cognitive hygiene with fierce, unyielding aggression. You must practice the beautiful, liberating art of the permanent no. Say no to absolutely anything, anyone, or any situation that does not feel like an absolute, resounding, full-body yes. Claim your health and claim your vitality by flatly refusing to act as a dumping ground for the emotional garbage of the human collective. To successfully navigate the blinding intensity of this monumental day and fully extract every single ounce of its life-changing potential, you must strictly follow 3 non-negotiable directives. Do not skip these steps. Do not alter them. Execute them flawlessly. First, you must ruthlessly capture the download. Because the brilliant insights arriving in your mind tomorrow will be swift, profound, and highly ethereal, moving at the speed of Aries fire but containing the slippery, dreamlike quality of Neptune, they will vanish completely if you do not instantly record them. You must carry a physical notebook, a heavy pen, or a dedicated recording device with you at all times on March 22. The exact moment a brilliant thought strikes your mind, the moment a complete sentence forms in your head, or the moment a wild business idea presents itself, you must document it completely and thoroughly. Do not trust your memory. Write it down immediately. Second, you must perform an act of radical, entirely uncomfortable self-belief. You must aggressively locate the one specific area of your life where you have been chronically playing small. Locate the exact place where you have been deliberately hiding your true, immense talents, or where you have been quietly accepting a level of compensation, love, or respect that is vastly beneath what you actually deserve. Tomorrow, you must purposefully, deliberately, and permanently destroy that specific limitation. You must assert your value in a way that makes your stomach drop, in a way that makes you feel deeply uncomfortable but fundamentally, electrifyingly alive. Do not apologize for taking up space. Third, you must completely and utterly surrender the how. This is the ultimate test of the Cazimi. The aggressive Aries energy inside of you is going to desperately want to force the action, to aggressively control the outcome, and to micromanage every single detail of your grand vision. But the infinite energy of Neptune strictly demands absolute, blind faith. Your only job tomorrow is to fiercely declare the massive, terrifying goal and to take the immediate, inspired first physical step. Once you take that step, you must completely release your desperate, suffocating need to control every single subsequent detail. You must trust, with the unwavering conviction of a zealot, that the North Node in Pisces is already actively, silently building the invisible bridge to your exact destination. While the entirety of the human collective will undeniably feel the shocking tremors of this profound energetic earthquake, there are 3 highly specific zodiac signs that are standing directly, inescapably in the exact crosshairs of this massive cosmic upgrade on March 22, 2026. If you have these specific signs prominent anywhere in your astrological birth chart, but particularly if they sit heavily in your sun, your moon, or your rising placements, Your entire daily life is about to accelerate at a breathtaking, almost terrifyingly rapid pace. You must be entirely prepared to receive this power. First, we must speak directly to Aries. Aries, you must hear this loud and clear. This is your monumental, undeniable, and utterly spectacular moment of absolute rebirth. The blazing sun and the infinite planet Neptune are forming their phenomenally powerful Cazimi directly inside your very own house, heavily impacting your sector of self, your fundamental identity, and your undeniable physical presence in this world. You are being completely, permanently rewired from the inside out. For far too long, you may have deeply felt like your immense, natural drive was being constantly diluted by the slow pace of others. You may have felt that your grandest, most aggressive visions were completely misunderstood, heavily criticized, or rejected by the people around you who simply could not match your burning frequency. Tomorrow, that agonizing frustration permanently and violently ends. You are being handed a divine, incredibly loud megaphone and a heavy crown forged of pure, unadulterated cosmic fire. Your natural intuition, which is usually drowned out by your need for immediate physical action, will be razor-sharp tomorrow. It will effortlessly cut through any remaining confusion about exactly who you are, what your true purpose is, and what you are explicitly meant to conquer in this physical world. You must step directly, boldly, and proudly into the absolute center of the stage. Your personal energy tomorrow will be terrifyingly magnetic. People will be inexplicably drawn to your fire. Massive, lucrative opportunities will seemingly fall directly out of the sky into your lap, and your natural ability to manifest your deepest desires into physical, tangible reality will be operating at an unprecedented, blinding speed. Do not dare shrink yourself. Do not apologize for your massive ambition. Tomorrow is the exact day you completely, fiercely embody the highest, most powerful, and most authentic version of yourself. The universe is aggressively clearing the path. All you have to do is march relentlessly forward. Second is the deeply gifted, profoundly awakened visionary, Pisces. Pisces, tomorrow is a day of profound, undeniable, and heavily fated destiny for you. With the planet Mercury and the karmic North Node colliding directly, perfectly within your very own astrological sign, the overwhelming, confusing, and heavily suffocating fog that has deeply clouded your direction for months is being instantaneously lifted by a brilliant, blinding, and almost painful light of absolute clarity. You have always comfortably played the role of the dreamer, the mystic, the healer, and the psychic sponge. But tomorrow, on March 22, you are being aggressively transformed into the master, unshakable architect of your own physical fate. The specific words you speak, the complex thoughts you actively think, and the abstract concepts you choose to verbally communicate tomorrow carry a remarkably heavy, deeply karmic weight. You are quite literally, physically speaking, your exact future into existence. This is the exact, mathematically perfect moment to finally, loudly voice the massive, deeply creative, or profoundly spiritual project you have been secretly, quietly nurturing inside the deepest corners of your soul. You must stop hiding your brilliance. The universe is actively, furiously aligning the exact right people, the precise resources, and the massive financial backing required to support your absolute highest calling. But none of this can arrive if you remain silent. You must trust your unique, ethereal voice. You must definitively realize that your profound, bottomless sensitivity is not a fatal flaw or a heavy burden. It is your ultimate, undeniable, and wildly lucrative superpower. You must explicitly communicate your ironclad boundaries. You must loudly communicate your uncompromising worth. And you must confidently, aggressively communicate the brilliant, visionary ideas that are going to completely, irreversibly change the entire trajectory of your life. Third is the fierce, radiant, and undeniable force of Leo. Leo, you are directly, intrinsically ruled by the glorious, life-giving Sunday. Therefore, whenever the sun is intimately involved in a monumental, highly potent alignment like a Cazimi, you do not just observe it. You feel it directly, violently in your core, your physical spirit, and your vital life force. The blazing, unapologetic fire of the Aries sun is perfectly harmoniously trining your own fixed, fiery nature, creating a spectacular, blinding explosion of raw creative genius, supreme, unshakable confidence, and massive, unprecedented financial expansion. Tomorrow, the 22nd of March, 2026, is intricately, deliberately, and specifically designed by the architectural forces of the cosmos to completely, permanently shatter your deeply rooted creative blocks. It is engineered to absolutely obliterate your lingering, suffocating imposter syndrome and to violently elevate your public standing, your professional reputation, and your physical visibility to a spectacular level that you previously, perhaps foolishly, thought was completely impossible for you to reach. You are no longer being gently nudged. You are being aggressively, undeniably called out by the sheer weight of the universe to take a massive, deeply courageous leap of faith regarding your absolute deepest passions, your grandest, most terrifying business ventures, or your most ambitious, heart-centered artistic pursuits. The visionary, limitless, and highly ethereal energy of the planet Neptune is right now actively flooding your highly creative mind with brilliant, unprecedented, and incredibly lucrative concepts. Simultaneously, the aggressive, initiating, and unyielding fire of Aries is directly injecting your physical veins with the raw, unadulterated courage that is strictly required to execute these brilliant visions flawlessly, instantly, and without a single microscopic fraction of hesitation. Because of this explosive planetary alignment, you must flatly, entirely, and unapologetically refuse to blend into the comfortable background tomorrow. You must aggressively, purposely, and relentlessly pursue the absolute brightest, most undeniable spotlight available to you. You must stand impossibly tall, look your high-paying clients, your dedicated audience, or your authoritative superiors directly and fiercely in the eye, and you must completely demand the high-level, premium financial compensation that you absolutely, undeniably deserve. Do not stutter. Do not use weak language. You must officially, loudly launch your grand ideas with the unshakable, terrifying conviction of a sovereign ruler who fundamentally knows, down to their very bones, that they cannot possibly fail. Your innate, natural ability to totally command a physical or digital room, to deeply and emotionally influence the masses, and to independently generate profound, lasting, and multi-generational wealth is entirely, completely unmatched on the exact day of March 22. You have never possessed this specific cocktail of influence and power before. You must consciously own this power. You must weaponize this heavy charisma. Hear this and let it resonate in your core. The 22nd of March, 2026, is not a gentle, polite suggestion from the whispering cosmos. It is a forceful, unavoidable, and booming, absolute command to rise from your own ashes. The spectacular, blinding Cazimi alignment is brilliantly, aggressively illuminating the absolute, terrifying truth of your ultimate potential. The shadow is completely gone. At the exact same time, the highly fated North Node is pointing directly, violently, and unmistakably toward your highest possible destiny. You simply cannot unsee the grand, magnificent vision of your life that will be explicitly revealed to you tomorrow morning. You cannot unknow the profound, undeniable truth of your own immense, limitless power once you finally feel it coursing through your physical body. You must reach out and physically grab this electric, untamed, and entirely chaotic cosmic energy with both of your bare hands. You must permanently, aggressively shatter your comfortable, limiting illusions that have kept you trapped. You must violently, permanently banish your deeply ingrained fears of being perceived, judged, or criticized by lesser minds. You must step boldly, proudly, and without a single, solitary ounce of hesitation directly into the brilliant, burning, purifying fire of your completely new reality. Claim your ultimate power today, ruthlessly execute your grand vision without looking back, and completely, permanently, change the entire trajectory of your life forever.